I was the one who asked him out, and instantly we formed a bond. And it was very passionate and very exciting, and our lives kept expanding. He had this great capacity for holding other people's dreams. He had been here during the 70s, and he came out from Cleveland. He was a jazz musician, and he played a lot of flute. I would wake up in the morning and he'd be playing flute. He loved to cook. He was a great cook. He was a wild cook. I mean, the kitchen would turn into a nightmare when he would cook. Even though he was grounded in a lot of ways, he never stopped. He always kept moving. He went to a baseball game 2 days before he died. He could barely walk, and he was carrying an oxygen machine. He just didn't want to stop. He never really stopped. People do slip away. They have, they will. They slide into the passageway. The far away, no one knows where you go place. Where did he go when he slipped away and left the house with only memories? Grief is such an alienating process. It can feel so lonely, and you can feel so isolated. And I definitely had a lot of those moments through the years of going through the loss and the change, and my life completely falling apart. Part of bringing other artists in to support me, bringing then in an audience to support me, gave me this sense of connection, gave me the sense of having companions.
He had two significant people in a relatively short period of time pass away back to back. You know, first it was his Eddie and then the dad. So I think that one, and then you're sort of coming above water a little bit, and all of a sudden there's another big one.
The day he died, he had this death song that he had created. He could barely talk, and he was completely incapacitated, but all of a sudden, he was singing this death song. I felt like he had made a choice. He had made a choice to leave. And actually, the moment that he died, I felt this incredible peace wash over me. It felt so joyful, which was the opposite of what I expected. But the moment that he let go was incredibly joyful.
We all have to deal with this path sometime. that all of us will face loss, that death is, you know, something profound and universal.
Grief is it's hard to feel. It's a painful feeling, and I think we don't, in our culture, we just rather take a pill, do whatever you can to, you know, get beyond it, get over it.
Death always reminds us also of our own finality, that we're, you know, that death is a fact of life. And if grieving is done well, we look the anxiety, the death anxiety, into its eye and move with it, move through it.
There was this idea that when the fall comes, when we fall apart, when someone literally, their health falls apart, their life falls apart, they fall out of this life. Or even that maybe we fall in love, you know, that there's all these ways that we fall. And what do we do when that happens? What do we do when the bottom drops out and there's nowhere to go but just surrender?
We went to the doctor, and they did a chest x-ray, blood tests, and things like that. All I remember distinctly about that day was the phone call coming in. I remember where I was standing in the back of the house. And this drop of energy and silence. The first few months I was at the house, and I wasn't alone because people came and stayed with me. But when I look back on it and remember it, it just felt like I was alone in this big house.
Obviously, there's so many ways to grieve the death of a loved one. We have memories as in stories. When somebody dies, a loved one dies, this and this happened then and that, and then things we can tell verbally. But I think the deeper layer of memory is really living in the body. It's kind of an implicit memory of how it was to relate on a day-to-day basis to this person. And when this person, you know, is not there anymore, these deep ways of relating, they persist, they're still there, but there is not, the counterpart is missing. And I think a lot of what grief is moving through this, doing something with that.
You know, some seemingly little moment re-triggers a memory. And then every loss of every beloved part of myself, part of my own life, people who have been significant to me come flooding back. And what am I to do with that? Think about it?
Most of those incidents are just a thought process or a mental thing. So you go back in time and you visit for like 10 seconds and then you come back. And then I'm here talking to you again. So it's like it just happened.
See if you can go back and forth into the grieving. You know, like don't grieve 24 hours, but also don't forget about it too quickly.
I think there's even a way to die yourself when someone dies. You know, there's a way that you can go with them.
Sometimes we isolate, we want to be out by ourselves. It's hard to be with other people who don't share the grief. There is something about the awareness of death which can result in withdrawing from life.
Sometimes people who are not at all spiritual or religious, when they're really in tough straits, they'll find themselves praying in spite of themselves. You know, what would be the saving balm, really? I mean, what could it really be? Does having a good job save you from that overwhelming grief?
And the Mount Holyoke painting you commissioned, which was always
when you died, you left yours. And you left all of your artwork and archives. When you died.
And your academic papers.
A painting you made for me.
The desk lamp that belonged to your father.
You left your woolly vest.
The necklace you bought me from India with the little rubies on it.
You left the silver necklace.
And the mysterious amber necklace.
The candles you used to burn nightly.
Your essential oils.
Seashells and rocks from our trip to the Caribbean and Hawaii.
The crystals.
All of your jazz albums and classic rock albums.
Your Giants jacket.
Your desk full of paper clips, client files, and post-it notes.
The business records that are still in boxes.
The Mother's Day card you made for your mother when you were in 3rd grade.
The texts you sent me to my phone.
Tablecloths from your visits to Ethiopia, Malawi, India.
The Italian cookbook that I never use.
So many pictures that you never sorted through.
A multitude of slides.
Including the photographs we took on our travels.
A lock of your hair.
Your address book.
Your passport.
You left your diaries.
And your electric shaver.
There are times when it's really sad still that he's not here. And even if we weren't together anymore, just to be able to say, God, remember that time when we went to Hawaii and brought the kids, and Lucia got sunburned and hated it the whole time. It is hard not to be able to share some of those things. I remember after he died, I was really tired, but I was also angry. Why did this have to happen? Why did I have to lose someone I loved? These feelings came up when the intensity of his death was behind me. A couple of days after he died, I went out dancing, even though it felt insane and crazy to be doing that. And I quickly just wanted to go back home.
That was, I think, the beginning of using the art to move through this process. That I decided to start writing poetry, and I did this practice of, I'm going to write a poem a day. And every day this is going to be my practice, and it's just going to be something to put my feelings, my experiences into a form, some sort of form.
Dreaming about snow, a birthday party in the woods for me with two loves. I wake up guilty. My dead husband baked all the goods. He labored and planned, trudged through the snow. My new love arrived with me by car, nonchalantly sitting in the back seat. They never meet, but I sit still with a churning as my mother organizes and tells me not to worry. I wake up, sitting up. 2 years presents me with the illusion that I have moved on.
People have guilt to be surviving. People have guilt about the circumstances of the death sometimes. They feel like they're responsible. But moving on with life brings up guilt in most people, and that's something to watch out for.
I kept having this recurring dream that Eddie was still alive, and we were in our old house together. And there was this overwhelming feeling of guilt in the dream. I couldn't tell him that I had moved on and couldn't live there anymore.
So I started making those dreams into dances. I started making the dreams into, putting it into poetry and acting it out and just taking ownership. Like, this is my dream and I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna play act it. And then all of a sudden I could choose how to end the dream. You know, I could use my imagination to end it in the way that felt really healthy for me, that felt empowering for my life today. You know? So I think for me, I had to grab on to art. You know, it was another thing, like I'm falling and I have to find some places to hold on, because I do want to fall, but I don't want to completely, you know, let everything go that has meaning for me.
Federico Garcia Lorca, a playwright, talks about El Duende as this life force that comes from the ugliness, from the earth, from underneath. There's this famous story in flamenco of like El Duende showing up for somebody that's doing the flamenco dance without a leg, but then El Duende being present because there's something that grabs you from underneath.
My work as an expressive arts therapist, my work with movement, with arts, you know, whether teaching or working with clients or doing it in my own life, I've always had art as a companion in some way. It's just part of my being. So it just felt clear that that would be a companion through loss, too.
When we're holding such heaviness, it's really hard to be creative. When we feel the weight of grief on our shoulders and on our hearts, it's really hard to feel confident and to feel brave in our creativity. Intentionally creating an environment where we are inviting a sense of play feels absolutely necessary to being able to look at the grief at all. The further we go into play, I find the further we are able to go into grief.
I remember coming one time into the studio and having so much emotion and exhaustion, and I said, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this about this topic. I think it's too much to carry, it's too heavy for me, and I don't want that burden. And it was a really pivotal moment because she said to me, okay, maybe you don't do it. Maybe this is it. Maybe you did what you wanted to. You accomplished what you needed to just in our sharing and starting to craft some pieces, and maybe that's it. And when she said that, it was so clear that I wanted to do it. Because I had the reaction of like, no, I do want to do it. But I had to sort of say that I didn't. I had to just drop it, and just because it was feeling like such a burden.
I think any means of expression, whether it's poetry doesn't necessarily, bring you instant joy, but I think to be able to go deep into something and express something gives you a certain amount of release and understanding. It brings you more in touch with yourself so that hopefully in the future you can feel some kind of joy.
No matter how painful something is or how unfortunate what happened, to make art of it, there's still something good about it. When grieving is going well, there is always something, there's contrast in there. It's not just, oh my God, it's so sad, and it's like, but there's also something like, oh, this is also maybe a very amazing time of my life, where I can really feel life more intensely.
This old life is still pulling at me, but this new life is undeniable. And I can embrace it. I have the choice to embrace it.
I've moved on. I have a new life. I'm not as torn with my past life. I have a new relationship. I have a new home. All these things are new. I'm negotiating the memories and honoring the loss through my art.
I've been really grateful for the way that Mitch has been very simple with me. That sometimes I'm having a storm and he's physically there, like he's just right there in the moment.
You slowly move, you take down a picture once in a while, you get rid of it, and you incorporate new people in your life, and you do new things, and
I needed to feel life. I needed to feel a sense that I'm healthy. I'm still very much here on this earth, and I want to express that and feel the preciousness of it and know that this is also temporary.
One of the things that I observed with Adriana was the necessity for her to remember to create ritual around this loss in her life. She could move and dance and write poetry and paint and really confront the many levels of loss that she was facing.
Adriana's intention with this piece isn't that people only experience heaviness and a sadness. There's a joy in remembering her loved one that passed. There's a tenderness.
So I had this dream that then turned into a poem, and somehow the title of When the Fall Comes just like fit with it. It's that, I'm falling, I'm lost, I'm in chaos, I'm free falling, I'm alone, I'm alienated. And then I could just step out and be in the dance and feel this freedom, just feel a sense of timelessness. And I think just in general, there's this sense of that with art for me, and being in the art making process is just timelessness. that all of a sudden, it really doesn't matter about what my future is, what my past is. I can just be right here, and it has a magic to it, it has a peace to it.